welcome to my channel. My name is Janet. If you're new to my channel, I make videos about immigration to Canada and the lifestyle in Canada. If you're interested in knowing more, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that anytime I have new videos, you'll be notified. Today, I'll be talking about how I got my permanent residence in 30 days. The aim of this video is to help those of you who are also interested in applying for permanent residence. There might be something that I did that could help you to hasten your application. So stay with me and I'll tell you my story. I and my family have been in Canada for 3 years now. The whole thing started when my husband had the idea of us immigrating out of Nigeria. And the reason why he thought about immigrating out of Nigeria is because of the insecurity. By the way, for those of you that don't know, I'm from the northern part of Nigeria. And in the northern part of Nigeria, we have a lot of crises and a lot of terrorism and a lot of things that are going on. Growing up, I can't count the number of times that we had to run and sleep in the army barracks or go to the mountains just to make sure we are safe, and because there is a crisis that has erupted in our city. So it was kind of a norm, and things were getting worse. Things were getting bad. You cannot go out of your house and be sure that you'll come back safe. So we didn't want our children to grow up in that situation. We were constantly in fear because of the terrorism that was happening at that time. So my husband said, well, we should consider relocating out of Nigeria. So that was the genesis of our immigration. Now he went ahead to look for agencies that would help us with the processes. We did not have an idea what it entails and how to go about it. He found one agency that was going to help us with immigration to Australia, but we had to go through a pre-qualification process that would take about 3 months. So while we were waiting, he still went ahead to dig and find more information. He then found another agent that turned out to be a scam, but he didn't still stop. He kept on digging. He then remembered that his friend was in Canada, and he reached out to his friend through Facebook, and thank God his friend was responsive and he told us all about express entry. That was the beginning of our journey to Canada. He told us everything about the express entry, and he asked us to calculate our score with the CRS calculator, and we saw that yes, if we do go through this process, we have a chance of getting an ITA. This was around June of 2017, so we decided to start the process. So the first thing we did was to go ahead with our ECA. We had to send our credentials to Canada and get the transcript over to Canada for that evaluation. My husband's friend recommended that we use IQAS because at that time, of the 6 bodies, IQAS processing times was the shortest, so we had to use IQAS. As soon as we submitted the documents for our ECA, the next thing we needed to do was to write our IELTS. We booked for our IELTS immediately, and we were to write the exams in 2 weeks from that day. So we only had 2 weeks to prepare for IELTS. And then we felt very confident because we were kind of okay in English, so we felt that even if we don't study so well, we should be fine. Now, when we went to the exam hall, we realized that there were some few things that we should have known or studied for, but we didn't. So we kind of expected that things might not go as planned. Well, we wrote the exams, and as soon as we left the exam hall, we booked for another exams, IELTS exams. Well, not because we didn't have faith that God can turn things around, but we didn't just want to take chances. We didn't want the IELTS to delay our process, so we wanted to go for the IELTS exams back to back to make sure we have the 877. So we got back home and started preparing all the things we learned from the exams, the previous exams. We kind of came to apply them and learn what we needed to learn for the next exams. IELTS result doesn't come out immediately. It takes about 14 days before it will come out. So we had to wait 14 days for the result to come out. When it did come out, we didn't make it. We missed by 0.5, but it wasn't surprising because we were not fully prepared. The following week, we were ready to go for another exams. So we went again, wrote the exams, and this time around, we made it. We made it, guys. I remember the IELTS score was usually released on a Friday at midnight. So we didn't sleep and waited for our result. At midnight, we saw that we had the magical score of 877. Of course, it wasn't exactly that, but I know that we crossed the hurdle already. So we celebrated all through that night. We even had a vigil and didn't sleep till the next morning. Now, the reason why we were celebrating was because for sure we knew that there was nothing that was going to stop us from becoming permanent residencies of Canada. That was around August of 2017. We were done with our IELTS, but our ECA was not ready. My husband now decided that we should go ahead to gather all our documents so that we don't delay the process. So we went ahead to gather all the passport, the birth certificate, the employer's letter, all of those, we got them ready. We even went ahead to do our medicals. At this point, we were not in the pool yet. We don't have a profile. RCC doesn't know who we were, but we had all these documents and all these preparations going on. I remember the night we got back from the medicals. That was the night that we received our ECA. We were so overjoyed because now we can create a pool and we can be identified by RCC. The next morning we created a profile and we had a score of about 400 and something. I cannot remember the exact score, but it was enough to gain an ITA for us. Luckily, the next week was a week for the draw, and usually the draws were conducted on a Wednesday. So on that Wednesday, we received an ITA inviting us to apply for permanent residence. Now remember, we had most of our documents. It was only one document that was left out, and we had about 2 days to run around and get that document ready. So by the Friday of that week, we had everything ready and we applied for permanent residence. We made sure we submitted our application with the processing fee, that is the application fee and the right of permanent residence fee. There was nothing else to do but to wait. We kept on monitoring our profile to check for updates, what is happening to our application. Unfortunately for us, 30 days from the day of application, we got an email requesting that our passport be sent to the nearest visa office, that our visas would be issued, and our confirmation of permanent residence be sent to us. We got the confirmation of permanent residence and our visas back after 2 weeks of sending our document. Now this was around December already, and we decided we're not going to move to Canada immediately. We're going to spend the Christmas with our family because it might be a very long time before we see them again. We had a good Christmas celebration, and then we also had to resign from our place of work. I remember most of the people at my place of work thought I was very crazy for deciding to leave my good job to a country where I know nobody and there was no job waiting for me. But we made up our minds and we wanted a better life, and we were willing to take that risk. We resigned from our jobs and booked our flight to land in Canada in February of 2018. So we became permanent residents of Canada in 2018. That is my story. I believe that one of the reasons why my application went very quickly was because we submitted the application very quickly. The interval between the ITA and the application was about 2 days, so it was really quick. I think the people in our batch, most of them had not submitted the application at the same time with us, so I think it also gave us an edge to get the application approved very fast. Also, make sure your documents are correct. I recommend you putting things like a letter of explanation. We had a very nice love letter to our processing officer. We told him everything about us. You could do that, and anything that you think is worth him knowing. We also made sure that we put a lot of documents to make sure that the visa processing officer is not confused about our application. Everything he needed was at his fingertips. You could also do that. Anything that you think would also help the visa officer to make a decision quickly. Understand some of the things that we did then cannot be done anymore. For example, the medicals that we did was valid for 1 year then, but now medicals are only valid for 6 months. So make sure you check and see how long you have before you decide to take any action. Also, we had faith, we were proactive, we acted right away. So you also need to do that. Remember, in the express entry, time is of the essence. You do not have the time to waste. Make sure you act immediately. If you're a permanent resident here, what do you think you did to hasten the application? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. It might just help somebody and make their application faster. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when I have new videos. See you next time. Bye.